Well, earlier today, Marvel dropped a new trailer for Agatha All Along, and I have to say, the naysayers might be a little surprised. Let's take a couple minutes to dive into this trailer, talk about the sort of unique take that we're getting here, the horror elements, and the big riddle. Is Wanda Maximoff alive? Now, before we do that, though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are in the know. Well, earlier today, Disney finally dropped the first trailer for Agatha All Along. Now, we know the Wanda spin-off series is coming our way in September the 18th. And they're going to give us 2 episodes on the first day. But I have to say, after this trailer, it's pretty unexpected what we got. This looks like a horror show. But let's rewind back to the beginning. Now, this new trailer opens up with Agatha Harkness seemingly being part and trapped inside a police procedural. Sort of the classic TV element carried over from WandaVision, but it doesn't take long for Aubrey Plaza's unnamed character to arrive and snap her out of the delusion the Scarlet Witch left her at the end of WandaVision. Now, we get a lot of looks at a lot of the new characters and all these new actresses taking up the role of witches. And it seems like based on the trailer, a lot of these characters will be joining Agatha in a coven and not serving as some sort of oppositional force like the Salem 7 that so many had suggested this would be. It's also pretty clear the Witch's Road is front and center. So all those rumors about the Witch's Road and potentially the Scarlet Witch getting a Witch's Road series, well, that seemed to be conflated into this, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, there is a ton of horror in this trailer, and that completely caught me off guard. And with a lot of imagery like this, it really wouldn't be a huge surprise if this kind of turns into a TV MA type series. The imagery itself is definitely in the R-rated movie realm. And I think fans are going to like this because all of it really does harken back to some of Marvel's early stuff, and honestly, looks even better than the Raimi stuff we got in Multiverse of Madness. Now, as for Multiverse of Madness, this brings us to Wanda Maximoff, and the trailer does seem to go out of the way to indicate that Wanda Maximoff is indeed dead after the events at the end of Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is far from confirmed in the trailer though, and we just get a little bit of imagery. But funny enough, Marvel doesn't confirm it, and honestly guys, I actually think by the end of this series, we might actually see a return of Wanda. Now, Kathryn Hahn is back as Agatha Harkness, and honestly, she was one of the highlights of WandaVision, and seeing her back in the role is pretty awesome. The character has obviously been very reimagined for the MCU, and she took it and ran with it in a way during that original series that caused a lot of fans to fall in love with her and basically inspired the spin-off series. She really has given the character some unique life in the MCU, and her performance was pretty much a joy to watch in every episode. Now, one other thing we didn't get confirmed, but we did see the character was Joe Locke. We still haven't absolutely gotten Marvel to confirm he is indeed Wiccan, but everything about the trailer does suggest he is. Wanda appears to be gathering together all the witches she can find to help her down the Witch's Road, which is going to be a great concept for the MCU and completely open the expansion into the magical world in a way that's, well, wasn't very expected. One of my favorite shots of the trailer was all the witches flying past the moon, kind of in a classic witch picture, and I think Marvel is definitely going to lean heavy into that element for this series, and based on everything that we saw in the trailer, I think it's absolutely going to work. Now, like we said, the show comes our way on September the 18th. We're going to get 2 episodes, and I think right out of the gate, the series is going to set sort of a new bar for Marvel horror. I like everything that I see here, and honestly, I'm more excited after the trailer than before, because it definitely took it in directions that I wasn't expecting. The only question I have now is, will this be rated TVMA?